A new Pokemon Center ETB might be right around the corner, and it might be coming a little sooner than we think. Literally might be tomorrow. I know that's very interesting to say, but we're going to break it down in this video, and we're going to kind of assume some dates. The next Pokemon Center ETB might be dropping. It's coming up here shortly, and it might be sooner rather than later. But before we get into this, I would really appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot, it really does. But let's get into this. So a new Pokemon Center ETB might be coming soon. That's kind of interesting to say, I know, because we literally just had Phantasmal Flames not that long ago, but it's because of Phantasmal Flames that we're going to be looking at and being like, hey, this one might be right around the corner. Like I said, if y'all don't know, the next main series set after Phantasmal Flames will be Legendary Dream. Yes, that is confirmed. Oh, not really. It's not officially confirmed, I would say that. It's been leaked, the set name, Legendary Dream. But we do know the Japanese version of this set is called Mega Dream EX. So we can do Mega Dream, Legendary Dream. I'm going off of Legendary Dream. That's going to be the English version. So we'll go off of that. Alright, so it all goes back to Phantasmal Flames. Okay, so we're gonna look at this a little bit, and then we can kind of go in more detail, and I kind of explain to you kind of really what I'm thinking here and what potentially might be a date that this might drop. We're gonna go over a couple dates that's gonna go on. Right now we're still not 100% sure, and I'm gonna state this before we go more into this video. I'm still not 100% sure off of this. I'm going based off of past information and just giving some good guesses, you know what I mean, like that. Love to hear y'all's kind of take on this and what day do you think is gonna drop. But let's get into it. So, alright, so for Phantasmal Flames, the first initial drop when it was supposed to come up was September 3rd, okay? September 3rd, if you don't remember, that was at the beginning of last month, okay? I mean, of course it is, but that date is very, very important. And why is it important? Because on September 26th was also a very interesting date as well too, because September 26th was the release date of Mega Evolution. Mega Evolution release date was September 26th. So now let's kind of count the kind of how early it was that kind of came out. Okay, so 1, 2, 3.5 weeks early that this set came out. Phantasmal Flames got its initial drop. It did not go the best. Bots scooped this all up on the back end. It was absolutely a horrible drop. We've seen all this stuff where they literally bought like 42,000 Pokemon Center ETB products in the booster boxes and everything like that. It was horrible. Kind of crazy day. But why does that date really matter? Because let's kind of break it down here. So if y'all don't know, Phantasmal Flames release date is November 14th, okay? Now keep that date in mind and keep September 3rd in mind, okay? Or keep the 3.5 weeks in mind. Now let's kind of look at it. So we are currently on October 21st. Now let's kind of look at this, okay? As we see, 1, 2, 3.5 weeks away from Phantasmal Flames actual release date. So what does that mean? As we know, the release date, the initial release date for Phantasmal Flames Pokemon Center ETBs was on September 3rd, which was 3.5 weeks away. So guess what tomorrow will be? Like I said, it's not 100% sure. It's kind of leaning towards probably not, but there's a possibility here. October 22nd will be 3.5 weeks, which was the first initial release day of kind of how Phantasmal Flames. It was kind of a similar time. So between tomorrow and November 14th, we will be having to kind of look out for Phantasmal Flames. First, we will probably get it initially shown off by some Pokemon Company and everything like that, or Pokebeach will kind of show it off as we've seen before. And then after that, probably that day, or typically is that day, but going forward, we might still potentially have a drop of the Pokemon Center TV. So it's very, very interesting. So also, what is very interesting and kind of, there might be a drop on that day, but there also might not be. And why am I kind of saying that? Because if we look back at last year, there was a very specific product that dropped in November and got its initial drop. It was the Pokemon Center ETB for Prismatic Evolutions. It dropped on November 1st, okay? But why did that date matter? Because it was a week early than Surging Sparks. That is typically how the Pokemon Company has been doing these drops. But what is really interesting about these drops that have been happening recently, back in May, when Destined Ride was initially released, it came out, I think May 26th, around the same time, honestly. And it came out, their initial wave for Black Bolt and White Flare was early in May as well, too. That's the only 2 times that we've had get dropped on the Pokemon Center so early, which was Phantasmal Flames products and Black Bolt and White Flare products. In my honest opinion, I don't think this will be dropping tomorrow. And why am I kind of stating that? Because what we've really seen, what Pokemon kind of has been doing, typically what they've been doing is they've been doing an early drop, then to that they do a drop 1 week early. So what does that date kind of point to now that I'm saying? Like I said, through October 22nd to November 14th, we got to be on the lookout a little bit. Like I said, tomorrow was kind of the initial drop date, but the actual drop date for Phantasmal Flames was also September 15th. So it was like a week and like a half later that it kind of came out, kind of like that. So what date could that potentially be for us as well too? It could possibly be coming out November 3rd as well, if they kind of go by that same thing. In my honest opinion, I don't think it will be that day. And why am I saying that? Because with Phantasmal Flames dropping, it was a whole different scenario. There was bots on the background, didn't really go too well. It was kind of a back end error for the Pokemon company. That's kind of what that was. So I don't think they'll really be dropping again. They've never dropped on a Monday, especially a Pokemon Center ETB. It's been really, really rare. I've typically only seen them drop for maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Monday's a really, really rare day, but you still got to be on the lookout. So if my personal opinion here, when do I think this will actually drop? Well, I think it might drop the 6th or 7th of November. That is typically where we've kind of seen these Pokemon Center ETBs drop, a week before. Like I said, when we go back to Prismatic Evolutions, it dropped a week before Surging Sparks kind of released. So I'm assuming the Pokemon we'll be going forward with is probably continuing to do the same thing. But we will probably have these different times where they do drop these Pokemon Center ETBs extremely earlier. But with Phantasmal Flames, I think it was a one-off circumstance that they dropped it earlier, because it was kind of the same thing as Black Bolt and White Flare. The main reason I think they did both of those so early was because they were in the same month. Do you see what I'm saying? Like a late drop for them in the month, like let's say the 26th or something like that, like the end of the month. I guess they wanted to do it that month. I don't really understand how it works on the back end. Maybe there might be some kind of statistics behind that the Pokemon company does. I don't really know, honestly. In my personal opinion, that is probably why they typically do these like a week before or something like that, because they want in the same time period. Maybe, I don't really know, honestly, in my opinion. But like I said, the dates that really point towards it is probably November 6th and 7th. But other than that, we'll probably have to stay on the lookout even before then. Like I said, starting tomorrow is kind of when the initial drop of Phantasmal Flames was. So going based off of that, it's going to be really interesting to see how this actually plays out for this Pokemon Center ETB, because I just really think it will be. When you look back at Prismatic Evolutions, and it's kind of a prime example, because this same exact thing happened same time last year. They put out this product, and the kind of same time this year they're putting out a product again. You see what I'm saying? So the dates are kind of adding up a little bit. They might be a little different just because it's being a new product and everything like that. As we know, Phantasmal Flames release date is November 14th, so it's not that far away. But it is kind of crazy. We're kind of just getting so close to these. Phantasmal Flames is literally right around the corner. We literally had Mega Evolutions, like 2-3 weeks ago. It's kind of crazy how fast everything is just boom, 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 coming. So we do have to be on the lookout for a new Pokemon Center ETB. But when will this initially come out? We don't really know. Just be on the lookout for that. Like I said, I think it'll be closer more towards November time. But what they've been doing in the past for other sets, it could potentially be tomorrow. Like I said, I highly doubt it though. We will kind of get some assumptions and kind of some things coming out. Like, oh, the actual, you'll be able to see like the ETB, see the kind of name of the set and everything like that. That's the one thing that I would say that might not possibly happen tomorrow, is because we haven't seen absolutely nothing of the English version. Absolutely nothing at all. Like, we haven't seen the English name, haven't seen any leaks for the Japanese or anything like that. Like, we haven't seen nothing. So is it gonna mean that something's gonna drop here soon? Probably not. We do know the Japanese version of this set does come out November 28th. So we are about a month and a week away from that set coming out, and we'll be able to see the whole entire set. So in my honest opinion, what I really want to believe is starting November, we'll start to see massive leaks coming out for Mega Dream EX. And after that, once we started getting a couple leaks from Japan, we'll probably come over to English and actually get the set revealed. Then that will be when we can actually get some Pokemon Center ETBs coming up. So it all kind of comes together and everything like that. We'll have to really see how this plays out. This is something to look forward to, because like I said, is it going to play how it is? Probably not, but it's just something to, pay attention to, honestly. I just don't really know how the Pokemon companies are like doing things. It's just really weird that they did Black Bolt and White Flare how they did, and they did Phantasmal Flames how they did. I don't really know. Hopefully this time with Legendary Dream, there's no bot problems or anything like that. Hopefully it goes well and everything can get done. Hopefully, I would assume we're kind of in a slower period right now in Pokemon. I know everything's crazy, but that might mean a possibility that a lot more people will be able to get these Pokemon Center ETBs. We'll still have to see how sought after these Pokemon Center ETBs will be when the market kind of cools down. I still think they will be very sought after in my personal opinion, just because they're a collector item and everybody knows once these sell out, you can't really get them and besides when you go to the secondary market. And typically when you go to the secondary market on some of these products, they're extremely expensive, which I want to talk about in a whole nother video, because Phantasmal Flames Pokemon Center ETBs I'm seeing for about like $500 right now, around there. It's absolutely insane. Does not make no sense to me at all, but I just kind of want to go over that in this video. Like I said, that is just the dates that I want to kind of assume. Some people have been kind of asking me about this too, but who knows? We might get this drop tomorrow. Highly doubt it, but if we look back at last month and kind of how it went for Phantasmal Flames, we could look at this month and maybe possibly be the same. I doubt it, but let me know your thoughts and opinions. Would appreciate it if y'all let me know. Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? What date do you assume? Like I said, November is probably more likely, but you know, hey, you never know. Like I said, I kind of want y'all to be prepared, be on the lookout, because we do have a new Pokemon Center ETB coming right around the corner, because we have Phantasmal Flames releasing November 14th. So between, I would say this, within these next 2 weeks, let's say through October, we don't get anything released, revealed. Next month is really where you gotta be locked in at, honestly, because in my opinion, if they don't release it this month or this week or next week, the next 2 weeks during November will be the 2 weeks to watch out for, because like I said before, Phantasmal Flames initial release was on November 3rd. You know what I mean? Or it was on September 15th, which was a week and a half before Mega Evolution released. You see what I'm saying? So we'll have to just see what happens. See how Pokemon wants to do this new air and everything like that. They might be wanting to do like the days a little different. I don't really know exactly. That's what I'm kind of be interesting to see, because like I said before, they used to do Thursday and Friday releases. So maybe since the new air, they want to change it up. Maybe they want to do Mondays and Tuesdays. I don't really know, honestly, in my opinion. But if that is kind of something like they might want to do it November 4th. Who knows? Like I said, it's really, we're kind of in no man's land right now just because of what happened with Phantasmal Flames. We're kind of out of nowhere. Typically, we kind of assumed when dates came out and everything like that for products. It's really interesting. But the one thing too that I would say is Mega Evolution's Pokemon Center ETB literally came out like that Monday before Black Bolt and White Flare came out. So we don't really know exactly what's going to happen here. But we'll have to see what happens. Just play it out. Make sure you subscribe. Turn the notifications on, because if we do have a Pokemon Center change or something to take it on the back end, or even something revealed for the English set, I will be going live and be waiting for these Pokemon Center ETBs. I have made it my mission and my goal to get these Pokemon Center ETBs and be live when they drop. So we'll have to see how this one goes out, plays out. Appreciate if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel and let me know your thoughts. See you in the next one. Peace.